A new Windows feature, kind of, that I can actually use. Hey everybody, this is Tom with Tom's Tech Show, and I have been playing around with the latest Insider build of Windows 10, and they actually have a feature. Well, it's not really a feature. I can't say that it's a feature. They're moving a setting from the old Windows 7 setting dialog into the Windows 10 style dialogue. Like making, I mean, all this whole thing about reworking everything so that it's in this, kind of material design control panel garbage is they're just making work for themselves. Everything else worked fine, right? Windows 7 worked perfectly fine with the control panels and everything. It doesn't need to be this all big, huge, buttony garbage and stuff. Just irritating as everything else. So, but if you go and open network and internet settings, now it shows you right here on the page, it shows you your Ethernet connection. It actually shows you how much data you've used, and you can click here and see the data usage. I guess if you're on a I was going to say dial-up, but if you're on a metered connection so that you've got so much data to use, then you'll be able to see what's using your data, and most of it's probably going to be system, as Microsoft sends all of your data and information to itself so they can track you. Yeah, thanks for that, Microsoft. And we can also come in here to the properties. Now, inside properties, you can easily switch this network from public to private, which was kind of a pain before. You can tell it that it's a metered connection. I tried using this copy to copy this information, but if I bring up Notepad, there we go. Bring up Notepad, and I click copy, and I come over here to Notepad, and I go, there's no paste. So that's obviously broken. Good job, Microsoft. So you'd have to actually go and, select each of these pieces if you wanted to actually copy it and then paste it somewhere. Like if you needed it for, like we keep track of all of our MAC addresses for, connecting to our router. We limit that, what MAC addresses can actually physically connect to our router at the office. But in here we have this IP address assignment. I can click edit, and I can switch that to changing it to a manual fixed IP address. I can click this open and put in the manual IP address, 192.168.168.1, whatever it is, and then give it a subnet. Now that's kind of irritating that it doesn't automatically populate the subnet or the gateway. I mean, you could actually do that pretty easily, right? You know that this is, a Class C address because you can populate with that, already, and then it would be pretty easy and fairly standard to populate that with, the .1 address of the gateway. That would it would save people, a lot of time, and a lot of people still use, your router as your DNS server. You could populate all of those and save people a lot of time clicking if they're trying to do something. But no. So the other thing that's not here really is the advanced settings. Like if I want to have two IP addresses, or I'm going to have a Win server or something else like that you still have to go back to the more network settings. So I'll go to the Network and Sharing Center. This is where it got crazy. If this is going to actually come up, here we go. Network and Sharing Center, change adapter setting, right click, click properties. So this just gets crazy how many clicks you have to do just to do this. Click that, click properties, and then click advanced, and then that gets you where you can put your DNS, your suffix connection, suffix name, your Win server if you're using Wins, and all that. All that stuff is still in this old dialog box. So you're helping on one side, but you're really not on the other. And typically what I do is I just create a shortcut to this on the desktop or in my documents or something somewhere so I can get to that really, really quickly. And that actually saves way more time than any of Microsoft's attempt to give me any information or any ease of trying to do anything. So in some ways, if you want to just get in here, click properties and be able to edit the IP address really quickly, a simple IP address, that's fine. In other ways, if you really need to do some work and put in, some other information other than basic information, it's actually still a huge fail in Windows 10, as Windows 10 continues to fail on most challenges, for IT people. So it's eventually, maybe Windows, maybe 2 or 3 years they'll get it. Hopefully at some point they'll just say everybody just have Windows, just free. But I think if they did that, they'd want you to sign up and make sure you have a Hotmail account and send all of your data to them, and then they would make it free. If you don't want to send your data to them, then they'd have to charge you, or they're just going to make it a subscription to charge you month by month, which is not going to be good for people who don't ever change their computer very much, and it's just going to drive people to Chromebooks and Linux and things like that, which is already happening. So, and the other new Windows, what is it, Windows X or Windows something like that they're bringing up is not going to help. It's still going to be Windows. It's still going to be the same kind of crappiness that we don't want. I mean, Windows 7 was so good. Gosh, if they could only just build a next generation simple Windows 7 that has security and everything built in, that's what we really need, is a secure operating system. Then do that with Windows 7 and forget all this other garbage that's confusing, like changing this, get rid of this whole huge start menu thing. I mean, I usually delete all these icons and everything anyway. But anyway, this was supposed to be just about this networking setting, not another rant on how much I dislike Windows. I only use it for my video production because there are some applications that I have that are only Windows that I use diligently, and they don't really run well under Wine, and I don't want to bring my MacBook around to do it. So I have a lot of memory in this box. So, but anyway, this is getting a little bit closer to being usable. So one step in the right direction, which follows up, 10 steps in the wrong direction. All right. Well, thanks for watching this one. If you have any other things that you like, if you're getting the insider builds and there's something you like or something you don't like, let's talk about that. So comment down below, and thanks for watching. Take care.